What's up, universe? Carlos Washington checking in. Anyways, so check it. You see where my mind is at, right? So let's get into the transmission, right? Let's jump straight into the transmission. So, let me get a sip of my water. Do you hear the silence? Anyways, you see where my mind is at, right? All right, so for today's transmission, we're gonna go with the book of Islam, chapter 97, verse 10. And it reads as follow. Ustedes que aman al señor, aborrezcan el mal. Él proteja la vida de sus fieles y los rescata del poder de los malvados. Mantente alejado del mal. Stay away from evil. It's a bit spooky out here. You see where my mind is at, right? It's a bit spooky out here, I'm not gonna lie. Go ahead, boom, And so I just got done with a date, right? And she's mad at me. She got mad at me. Because I wanted to come here and share this transmission with you. What is truly evil? You should ask yourself that, right? Because me personally, I do not think I've encountered true evil, right? And it's cold out here. And I'm with my lonesome. Like, true evil, like, does it really exist? If you refer to, like, let's say, like, taking a life, right? Is taking a life evil? And you would say, well, it depends on the situation, right? It depends on the individual and their intentions. Now, there are things that are bad, right? There are things that are bad, or that more like things that, why would you do, right? Especially when it comes to like hurting others. And what I mean by hurt, I mean like, it's what's really good or evil, really. A gun is not evil, right? It's just a tool. So the intentions of the user is what determines if they were ill intentions or not, right? And I say this because I once had to fend off a home invader, right? Man, what a moment that was. Crazy. Dude actually broke into my house. Middle of the night. And so long story short, in that situation, I took it lightly, which is what allowed for the invasion to take place, right? And again, I had to be courageous and confront this home invader. Now, I had already made contact prior to the invasion, or not contact. We had established communication prior to the invasion, but then one poor decision led to that, right? But his poor decision was before even that. I'm not gonna get too into details with it, but yeah, I had to fend off a home invader, right? Someone broke into my apartment, and I was at home, and my family was home. And let me tell you, man, what a scary moment that was. And I'm sharing this because, like we spoke about, courage, right? This isn't about courage, but in order to be courageous, fear must be present. It's a bit of courage for me, where you see my mind, where my mind is at, and to still check in with you. A bit spooky, spooky out here. Look at this, man. What do you see beside any? What do you see beyond the light? Mind you, I traversed this with no light, so you can imagine what that must feel like. Or not. You don't hear this? You hear the silence? Anyways, it's like I was saying, home invader, confronted him, fended him off, or held him I fended him off and held him at bay until the cavalry arrived. Yes, the police. Blessed they showed up for the both of us, right? And my family. So, some people might say the police are not necessarily evil, but they're corrupt. And, maybe they have reason to justify that. In my experience, I've dealt with a bit of corruption from law enforcement, but all that stuff was minor bullshit, right? You could say it was my fault, but even the home invasion was technically my fault. Accountability, man, that shit crazy. I'm over here. I'm like sharing with you. And what was I getting at? My bad. It's been a long. I don't even know what now, because I just finished work. Went on a date, right? My date got real mad at me, because I wanted to be here. I wanted to come here, for a moment, right? What was I getting at? Home invasion, police. Oh, so that was a real world experience that I experienced, where the police did show up and really had my back, right? I say my back, but they really came and, handled the situation, right? Cavalry was called, they showed up, support was provided, and blessed, bro. You know, I'm good. He's good. My family's good. So it's all good. Now, stay away from evil, right? Technically, in that instance, I had the law behind me to take a form of affirmative action, right? I'm not sure if that's the right words, whatever, but what I mean is like that moment presented an opportunity for me to catch a body. Let's just say, or vice versa. But you know, I'm not the victim, but I was the one attacked. My home was attacked, so I could have caught a body. But you know what's crazy? My intentions did not even register that, right? I was more focused on um, handling the situation best case scenario. What an interesting mantra that is. Mantra. Everything is working out best case scenario. But would it have been, I was just going to say, like, would it have been evil if, let's say, that situation presented itself with you in verse, and some of you might jump at the opportunity to catch a body? Crazy. Now, is that evil? Because now your intentions are becoming quite clear, right? Because yes, we have laws. We each have our own moral compass. But the truth is, we are given free will in this life, right? That's the whole premise of this, right? Just like, again, you see where my mind is at. Free. Free. And that's what life's about, man. Freedom of choice. And that's why I keep telling you about recalibrating your brain software so you can make the better decision that leads to more freedom of choice. Listen, I'm gonna have to end it here, okay? Like I said, I hope this helps, It might save your life one day. The activity's getting interesting out here in the void. So, we're gonna play it safe, right? We're gonna play it safe. And, like I said, listen and pay attention. And you're gonna you're gonna learn one of these days. Maybe. With that, I am Carlos Washington, and let's build this together. Bless.